I'm gonna watch them again, but I saw the final 3 episodes.
Oh boy.
Oh, dude. Henry is completely sidelined in the last 2 episodes. I don't think he's in the penultimate episode at all.
Oh no!
So remember at the end of season 1 where he was injured in the final episode and he spent the time in a cart? That's essentially the final 3 episodes.
Oh Christ!
Gets in a fight, he gets injured, and he's out of the fucking show. So bad.
That is, and they were hyping this up as like, oh man, he gets such an excellent exit from the show, like it's handled seamlessly. And the way you're describing it, it's like he gets injured, like I have to go away and die now. I might see you later in a different form.
Which happens in the book, right? He gets injured in the book, but this is where they pick and choose. Like, oh, we'll be book accurate when the Witcher gets injured and he's not in anything. That's when we'll decide to pay attention to being accurate to the book.
Yeah, book accurate when it's useful to them.
When it's useful to us. It's so bad.
Are they definitely going ahead with season 4?
Yeah.
On hold for now, surely.
I mean, obviously right now it's on
I wouldn't
hold,
say anything's definite right now.
Because the strikes, to get things started back up once the strikes are over, could just cost the projects entirely. It's like, no, fuck this. Just cut it out.
Well, they suspended George R. R. Martin's contract. I mean, everybody's contract suspended, by the way, because of the strike. So that's everybody. George R. R. Martin's going to get his deal back when this is over. So not to worry there, but there will be a lot of others where they can just use that force majeure and which means that we can just end it. And that will happen a lot, but they got to kind of wait till it's over.
Well, to be honest, Gary, half these fucking projects, they use that as a happy excuse, right? They'd be like, fuck, great, we don't have to waste our money and time on this thing anymore.
I mean, like, what's the word? Like, how long could this actor strike realistically go on for?
Actors, I thought it would end sooner, but it doesn't look like it could go a couple months with the actors. With the writers, end of the year.
Right.
Yeah, people are calling each other's bluff on this one, which didn't The Rock recently donate a shit ton to the actors one, so they'll be able to go for a bit.
Yeah, there's like the straight up strategy for the studio seems to be like, we're just going to starve them out.
There's a woman who goes to my gym who works for Sony, and she knows what I do. And she was teasing me recently. She's like, "I hope you have a backup plan," as like alluding like no one's. You're not going to be reviewing any movies at some point soon here.
I don't know, dude. If there was
like we've got a backlog of like 10,000 movies.
I was like, it's fine. I just did like video essay.
We survived a whole open bar on the Mummy. The Rock.
Yes, back to back. I would happily do that.
Don't you worry about me, sweetheart, or worry about us. We'll be fine. Rings of Power, locked and loaded. It's happening.
Listen, Gary,
it's pure golden chat tonight, by the way.
Oh, good.
Bag of beer.
No, we're getting House of the Dragon. That's still happening. Rings of Power is still happening. Got the Marvels coming out. Well, I'm fine.
I think there's rumors of that potentially getting delayed. Is there any veracity to that?
Well, I was going to get into that actually.
Because like we should go real quick because if that gets delayed and Dune gets delayed, that tells you that the strike is going to go for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
Because the Marvels is scheduled for November, and so that's like several months away, and they are, potentially saying we're going to delay this because the stars can't do any publicity for it, they can't promote it, and so it makes more sense to delay it until next year. I would argue, like, having the stars that you've got and the subject matter of this movie, it'd probably be better if they weren't involved in the promotion. It would probably make more money for your movie if they just were out of it altogether, but apparently not. But it adds to this this feeling that movie is just doomed, because they have already released the teaser, they've released an official trailer, they've tried to build some kind of momentum behind it. They're releasing Ms. Marvel onto ABC to get it on network television, just so that people actually know who this character even is. And if they then delay it by several months after all that, they've lost all of that. All that momentum is gone.
You need to have watched Captain Marvel, WandaVision, Miss Marvel, and Secret Invasion to watch the Marvels. So Miss Marvel is going to be released on American television. Not sure if it's going to be in your guys' any you foreigners, but on American on Saturday night at 11 o'clock, which is like the dead zone, which is hilarious.
I saw Secret Invasion was on Hulu too.
Yes.
Yes. And I do believe Disney got in a little trouble doing that dual, like streaming it on Hulu and Disney Plus and on terrestrial television, and then fudging some numbers. And they're still in trouble for that. I think that's still being worked out. Warner Brothers got busted for it as well, fudging their numbers. Basically, they're fudging their numbers. Nobody's watching this crap.
Mentioning the lowest rated episode of MCU history of all time is the latest one from Secret Invasion.
Is the finale of Secret Invasion, because I'll be real, Secret Invasion wasn't the worst thing I ever saw from Disney Plus. It wasn't good, but it wasn't the worst thing I ever saw until the last episode, and I'm like,
oh boy,
wow,
the last one was pretty bad.
Thing I've ever seen. It really goes nuts at the end, and it's so fucking stupid.
And Gary, they did it again. Emilia Clarke, throughout all 6 episodes, they don't utilize her acting abilities at all. She's a blank, annoying, I'm a badass character.
Action star, fundamentally misunderstanding what she even was in Game of Thrones. It was supposed to be paradoxical. Okay, it was supposed to be like this cute little wafy girl is the mother of dragons. She wasn't out there slaying people with the Dothraki. That's not what she was. So they completely they keep on. Did you see any difference between her and the show and Terminator at all? It was the same character, almost dressed the same when she was Sarah Connor.
Remember that? Always does that blank, I'm hard impression sort of thing to people in every scene. I'm like, that poor girl. She has some of the most emotive eyebrows in the history of human beings. They never get used.
They are a serious pair of eyebrows.
And the thing is, we're supposed to she's this big hard ass, and she's 4'11". I mean,
and she looks
tiny cute thing running around.
Yeah, she looks soft as well. You don't look at her and think that's someone who's lived a life and she's tough as nails. It's no, she's
looks like
pretty
she won't
and she's soft and that's not the kind of role that she can play convincingly.
Yeah, because remember Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2? That was a woman that was kick ass and hold a gun.
Yeah. Well, apparently
the contrast of the waitress Sarah Connor, and then the next movie she's freaking doing pull-ups.
Apparently there's a great story. I don't know if you saw that Arnold documentary on Netflix, but it's they went out for dinner, him and James Cameron and Linda Hamilton, and she was wearing a really dress that showed her arms off because she was really proud of how much she'd been working out, and Arnold's fuck, she's more cut than I am. God damn it.
She came across as the kind of woman that could kill your entire family. Maybe shoot them with a big old gun,
Yeah, that's right.
Not the kind of woman who would take your family out shopping.
Yeah.
So, I saw someone saying chat Emilia Clarke has a terrible agent compared to Haley Steinfeld's agent, and I couldn't agree more.
Yep.
Haley Steinfeld, she's Vi. She was Vi in Arcane. She was Gwen in the Spider-Verse movies. And she was
she a voice actress?
She's also Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. She was in Ender's Game, however many years ago that was.
She's in Bumblebee too.
I liked it anyway, but Kate Bishop show sucked balls.
I mean,
hated it every second of it. She was.
I can't speak for Hawkeye. I very much enjoyed her in in Arcane as Vi. I thought she was great in that.
Oh yeah, really good.
Anson Mount has to fire his agent. That's he was on hell.
Did you? I don't. Have you been watching Strange New World with the musical episodes?
I was gonna skip it, but dude, it's gotten progressively worse with all the Spockisms they've done with the eating the bacon and then bringing in Lower Decks, and then a musical episode is I have to watch this now. I have to watch this disaster.
Because wasn't Strange New World supposed to be the one that's okay, it's more in the spirit of old Trek. It's more optimistic. We're going to take it more seriously. The actors and the characters are going to act like actual Starfleet officers. And it just seems now, nope.
But to be fair, they said that with everything they've produced. Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery is going to be way more like Star Trek. No, season 3 is going to be way more. No, Picard season 1 is going to be way more like that. They literally said it before every damn season. Even Lower Decks, they tried to pull that crap. These are people who don't understand Star Trek, don't care to understand Star Trek, and all they're doing is riffing off older Star Trek. And it's terrible. They present Spock as being autistic and then the butt of jokes.
I think that clip I saw where he was eating bacon and he was just I know he'd been turned into a human or something.
Okay, it's It's not like you turn Spock into a human. He's half human, okay?
Poor Gary.
Yeah.
God,
Poor Gary.
And it's just but what a way to denigrate a character. Let's just mock him. Let's just poke fun about the fact that he's normally so serious and so logical, and it's like, oh, he's eating bacon and he's just having a great time.
His Vulcan side isn't like born without emotion. That is a learned it's a discipline. It's a discipline.
Exactly.
It's not something they're just born without. It's so freaking retarded.